Like a shark. I'm like Jaws. I'm Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rob Has a Podcast live here in Washington, D.C. We have a capacity crowd here today. We just watched the Survivor episode. Was that a great episode to talk about or what? Now, normally, when we come out to do the live show, I get to do the know-it-alls with Stephen Fishback, and Stephen is not able to be here with us tonight, but we have actually improved on the thesis of the know-it-alls, the people that know everything about how to win the game, but haven't really won the game at all, because we have an honest-to-goodness Survivor winner here with us. To co-host here is the winner of Survivor 42, Maryanne Oketch.
Thank you. This is for you.
That's for you. I have one. All right. Okay. How cool is this?
No, this is weird for me. Like, I listen to know-it-alls. I listen to the live know-it-alls when I was getting ready to go on Survivor. You know, I'm singing it, and now it's like I'm here. Like, I'm so happy Fishback hates me because I didn't watch the last 6 episodes of Token Jeans. So, you know, I'm coming for you, Fishback. So you might watch out because we need some people who actually know it all.
Okay. All right. Shots fired. Mm-hmm. Yes. And how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gagged. Like, poor Janine, this girl didn't even have 24 hours, was just blindsided, and then not even 24 hours later, blindsided again? Like, that's sickening. Like, great game, great play, like, amazing as, like, but I'm just feeling for Janine. Like, I'm crying for her, like,
For Janine, what about Dwight?
Oh, yeah, that's...
At least she's still in the game.
Yeah. No, that's so rough for Dwight, especially with Janine's idol. Like, that's foul.
Yes.
Like, she didn't even play for Ellie, and now she can't even play it. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Now, of course, as a veteran of the new era, do you know the rule of, like, after the vote, like, okay, we did all of the, like, chicanery of, okay, we got to make sure James doesn't know who has what. Could you pass stuff back after the votes have been voted but not counted? Would Dwight have been able to hand the thing back to Janine?
In my understanding, I don't think so. The way that I understand it is from when you get to camp, whatever you can change, ring around the rosy, like, hot potato. But as soon as you get to tribal, what you have on your pocket is yours, and what someone else has is yours, right? That's why, like, if you see in past seasons, someone's like, I'm gonna let you hold my steal a vote. It's because they can't ask for it back. It's theirs to hold, and it's theirs, and only they can play it.
Yeah. Okay. So I see some hands going. We're going to take some questions later on in the show towards the end. We love to get the questions from the audience, so we're going to do that later on. You know, I think that, Maryanne, we were so focused on the Baca Civil War last week and Ellie versus Gabler. I think we kind of missed the Vessi Civil War that was about to happen.
That was shocking, like, to me, because, you know, as a fan, I'm watching Baca, and especially, you know, you get itchy when you don't go to tribal, and they just implode. And then I'm like, there's no way Gabler's gonna go. Like, it's like everyone's seeing Gabler. Then Gabler somehow is now under the radar. It's like Vessi's imploding on the inside, trying to just vote each other out. Like, I guess they wanted to jump ship. I guess it was time for them.
I guess so. I would love to just talk this move through from the Cody and Jesse perspective.
Okay.
Because to me, that just my first reaction to it, and I'm sure, like, we'll talk it through, is that I feel like that this seems a little fast to make this move, especially when Coco seems so strong, so united. Why sacrifice your numbers, that these are people that are not coming for you? It seems like that there is, you have this Baca and Vessi majority, and instead we see that Jesse and Cody say, let's do something different where our group is not in the majority.
I think the reason why someone would go and flip, especially that stage of the game, has a lot to do with the perceived power.
Okay.
So, you know, Vessi had an alliance, so you had Noel and you had Dwight. So then after, maybe Noelle and Dwight didn't have as much social capital as the Coco people. We were hearing that everyone's saying that James is a social threat, a strategic threat, which means that maybe James has a lot of connections. So if Coco's going and like whispering to you, hey, come, we have this guy that everybody likes, and we have these other people, and Cody's maybe like, yeah, I want these new people. They're trying to live in the game, you know?
I love all these new people.
No, you got to do a little bit of, they're living in the game, you know?
They're living in the game.
It's like, I heard that James, he won his football match. So that's the way I'm going to go and have redemption, because I didn't win. So maybe that's why they want to jump, because you jump, and then if you have that strong alliance with more power, that's better for you in the next few days.
You know, I think the thing about this that, I always try to understand, we're watching at home and it looks like numbers. It's like, oh, well, they're with them. Why wouldn't they stick with them? But, something that I hear people talk about with the game is the idea of who can I trust? And this is something that I think came up once upon a time. And I think it was even Shannon who brought this up about David Wright's philosophy on the game of it's the people I trust versus the people I can't trust. Mm-hmm. And if Jesse doesn't feel like I can never really trust Noelle and Dwight, is it worth sticking it out with them?
You see, this is the very interesting part about playing the game, where it's like you might go and not trust someone because of past votes. You feel as if they have past blood, but you know them. So then you're like, I know the enemy. But when you have that connection with someone, like I know that Jesse was talking to Carla, maybe you click with someone more at the merge. Maybe you've clicked with someone at I don't know, what would you even call it? Like, it's not a ship wheel island or a summit, a journey. Maybe you pair with someone at a journey. Sacra Island?
That's what Mike Bloom
Zach
says.
Braff?
Yes. Zach Braff, yes. Zach Braff.
Like from Scrubs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Mike Bloom. I don't know what you were calling it, but maybe you connect with someone. Like, I know that when I went on my summit, I connected with Drea so quickly, and I wanted to work with Drea. And, you go to the merch and get someone new and shiny, so maybe that might have happened, that they had those connections and you really trust said connections.
Yeah, I feel like that we've seen this a lot, in the new era, where people have something that they don't really see eye to eye with a person, and then they get to the merge, and it's something that they haven't even, had an interaction with in the game, but then they feel like an instant connection to people and are ready to go. And we saw this a lot in season 42.
Yes. I can tell you, when I got on the island in the merch, I had a great connection with Tori, wanted to play with Tori. Tori was my best friend on the island, loved Tori so much, and I feel as if she's the one who people really don't see how kind and amazing she is. I know we're not talking about 42, but Tori's amazing. But I wanted to work with Tori, and I wanted to go and move forward in the game with Tori, right? The difference, though, is that we had no social capital to make it happen at the time, right? But if you have someone like Jesse, who has these new connections, plus he has the social capital to go and make those connections actually happen, maybe you want to go and work with the people who you like, because the people you like and the people you connect with, the people who you feel that you can trust for a longer time.
Mm-hmm. I want to also just factor in the new information that we got tonight. Okay, knowledge is power is back. I hope for all of you out there, find someone who loves you as much as Survivor loves knowledge is power. Okay? I'm glad you did, Maryanne. Yes. Yes. But no, I couldn't believe it only went out of the game 2 episodes ago. They're like, no.
They won't let it die.
Yeah.
They really won't. Knowledge is power.
It's like, Carla, you thought you could get rid of it? All right, it's back.
No, when I saw Carla's face when James was like, oh yeah, I have knowledge is power, and Carla's like, I just voted out Gio. Are you kidding me? And you're bringing this back? I really thought the car was going to be like, I did this before and I'm going to do this again. Goodbye, James. So I was shocked that they kept it in.
All right, so that really kind of changed the equation for a lot of people.
Yes.
Okay, what do we do? And I have to say, I thought it was very perceptive of the players that were in the game to be able to, unless there's of course there's a lot we don't see. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like that the players were sort of like, hey, it's the merch. Could be knowledge is power. It could be knowledge is power is back. So let's preemptively work around that.
Okay.
But it is also possible that there might have been some moles in the group where there were some people. Sammy. It seems like that Jesse also knew where things were being switched to. And do you think that really helped? Let me get on the side that has this advantage, and then also let's take out another one of the advantages of the people that we are screwing over tonight.
Yes. the beauty about knowledge is power is that the advantage is called knowledge is power, but also if you have the knowledge of the knowledge is power, then knowledge is power, right?
Yeah.
So, if you know who has the advantages and you know where the advantages are, and you know that the person is willing to work with you, why not keep it for 1 vote? Why not keep it for 2 votes, right? If it was then, maybe you know where the advantages are, you know that person, and you don't want to trust that person, that's when you vote out the knowledge is power.
Yeah. These players, they did not see how your season played out. They did not see all of 42. We saw how your tribe, Taka, right?
Taku.
Oh, so close, so close. So many tribe names.
Wow, we're old and irrelevant already,
Yeah.
clearly.
Sorry about that. But you four were able to stay tight and get very far together, that you were the one group that never turned on each other. And I feel like that was so strong. And that's the only thing that I can't get past for Jesse and Cody to make this move. That Coco just seems like remember you all said we gotta stop Coco. Remember you all were ready to work together, and now it's like we got to the merge. It's like what's Coco?
Yeah, I feel as if, especially for Vessi compared to Taku, is that I feel as if the 4 in Vessi were an alliance of convenience, right? So it's like you had the alliance structure where you had Cody and Jesse in the center of it. Then you had Dwight and Noel who were kind of hovering around. The difference is for us, for Taku, we had an alliance called the Taku 4, started on day 2 with me, Omar, Jonathan, and Lindsay. So when we went to the merge, we already had that established alliance. And of course, we had that trial of the hourglass that went and scared basically because me, Lindsay, and Jonathan were both in danger. So we had both a trial that was early at the earn the merge stage. So we had that solidifying thing where it's like, okay, we still want to look for each other. We still want to work with each other. When Vessi didn't really have, number one, that base alliance, and they didn't have that like moment of crisis. So when that moment of crisis came, they crumbled rather than staying strong. And if you even look at that specifically too with Coco, where Coco lost 2 tribals in a row, right? And then after they also had another person was just about to be voted out. And then so now when you're going and you're in the merge and you have these people who you're trusting and you've had moments where you get to prove your trust, you might be more willing to move forward as a group.
Yeah. I guess, for so long, I think we looked at like what was happening in Survivor, especially like after the merge, and sort of like, okay, well, these are the groups that are together. But is it much more like just like a vote to vote now after the merge, where it's like if you're Jesse and Cody, it's like, hey, look, like Noel and Dwight, like we can never really trust them. We'll figure the rest out. We just know that they're not going to be part of our end game.
I think that is kind of the way that the game is moving forward, where you have someone who you trust, and that is the person who you want to go and work with at the end. I know that for me, the person who I trusted wholeheartedly and completely was Omar. So when at that moment that I was safe, yeah. So when I was safe, I remember even thinking, as long as it's not Omar, it's cool, it's whatever, right? So you had people who you worked with where it's like, okay, like, I really like Tori and I want Tori to move forward, but if it's between Tori and Omar, it's like, I'm gonna choose Omar every time. So that's maybe what then the frame... We can talk about 6 later, Omar. But basically, that could be what's happening to Cody and Jesse, where they're just like, we are a tight 2. Our biggest priority is that we want us 2 to move forward. And then so whatever happens to anyone else,
Yeah. Can we take a moment to memorialize, I hate to see breakups, but, remember when Jesse and Dwight got married? Remember they were in the pineapple zone? Remember? And then Jesse got down on one knee and proposed, and then they hit a rocky patch. Dwight said, well, Jesse's sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
Well, now they've, it's so sad.
Yeah, I think
gone their separate ways.
Yeah, I think it's the renewal of vows. I read a statistic that says like
renewal of vows
yes.
is different. Yeah.
No, but there's a stat which I don't have the numbers to right now, and I'd love if someone could fact check me. But like, if you renew your vows, you actually have a higher percentage of divorce within like the next 5 years.
That's like the dreaded like vote of confidence. Like if a couple feels like they have to renew their vows, it usually means okay.
I read it somewhere, so someone can then go and tell me if I'm right or wrong.
And Maryanne's a seminary student, okay?
Graduate.
Yes.
I can get my credentials
graduate.
now. Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay. Yeah. So that's something to watch out for. Okay, for all you couples out there. Okay. All right. how would you like to hear from some other people that maybe played Survivor with Maryanne?
Ooh, I'd like that.
Maybe we have some people here that actually know a thing or two about what goes on with knowledge is power when that comes up in the game.
Ooh.
Let's welcome up. I'm very excited to be joined by Mike Turner is here.
Yeah.
Welcome up the great Mike Turner. Mike, how are you?
I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm at Final Tribal. Maryanne is killing it, and I have no idea what's going on. Holy crap.
Yeah. And also another man who had to figure out what to do when he found out somebody had the knowledge of power. Please welcome Omer Zahir. Omer, how are you?
I'm good.
Yes, yeah, give it a second. Give it a
I have
second.
Mike's idol in my pocket right now, actually.
Oh, okay. First off, so nice to have you all here to talk about what's going on. Mike, what's new with you?
Life is good, man. Survivor's thriving, and I love it. I love it.
Omer?
I'm done studying every day, all day, every day, and I'm back to just enjoying Survivor as a fan now. So,
Okay.
loving that.
All right. I heard you got to get out to the DC Zoo today.
Oh yes.
What
yes.
was your review?
We were shocked by the tiny nature of those pandas. I've seen much bigger pandas before, but they're small in DC, and I don't know what that says about this town. But
Look, you're a visitor to our country. You don't need to come here and insult our pandas in our nation's capital.
I mean, the pandas belong to China, Rob.
Okay. All right. So we had this episode tonight where the knowledge is power came up, and of course, famously, you two were involved with
Not me.
making sure that knowledge is power can never be successful ever on Survivor. And we saw the players like doing similar things, so the kind of things that you guys were talking about. What was your reaction to have knowledge is power come back?
To come back, listen, I love the knowledge is power. It worked well for me. However, when I did first hear about it, Omar had told me, and I'm like, what the hell is that? We never, because we didn't see 41, so we had no idea what it was. So when Omar came up to me, I said, he's full of shit. Can I say that?
I was,
you're good.
but it was real.
Okay. So I'm saying Omar's full of crap. However, I had to take a chance, and we know Omar doesn't lie, so I had to believe him.
Never.
And thankfully, Omar was right, and I was saved at that tribal, and the rest is history. But I got to tell you right now, when we got back to camp, I went Omar said, hand it over right now.
Give it to me right now.
I said, no. He goes, I can't find it. I go, not a chance.
Yeah. But you know what? For you two, like it was such a leap of faith for you, Mike, because season 43 players are like, knowledge is power. We know what to do here. But you think like he's making this up. Like this is like some Eric Reichenbach stuff that's going on.
It was, and I remember when it happened, I'm saying, man, like this is the Y in the road. If I go this way and I'm right, I'm gonna look like a great player. But if you're wrong and he has my idol and I go home because I gave it to him, I look like an idiot. And that's what I was nervous about. But I trusted Omar at the time.
Want to be my puppet, boo?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so let me ask your opinion, Omer, did you like this move for Cody and Jesse to flip and go with Coco?
I think we're missing a lot because it seems to just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But everybody knew that I bled Taku orange, so I felt like
Still repping the orange.
Still repping orange, and my emus are looking you in your eyes. So I thought that Vessi actually was going to stick together because they kind of had a blind side early on, but then they were winning all the challenges. I thought they would be bonded. So to have them kind of fracture right in half and go separate ways so early when there's two other tribes potentially working together was a bit surprising to me. But if Jesse's got a really strong relationship with Carla that we're not maybe seeing the full extent of, maybe he has a backup plan.
Can I say that I was a little frustrated with that in the episode because that I really felt like, when Survivor is at its best in storytelling, they show and don't tell. And it seemed like out of nowhere, Jesse says in the episode, Oh, by the way, I have a very close relationship with Carla, and it's better than the relationships with people in my tribe. Like, well, where was this? When did this happen? And so it was a little bit just like kind of like a blindside to us. Now, again, things are moving very fast. There are a lot of things that Carla and Jesse that they feel a connection, but it was surprising that relationship seemingly blossomed when the cameras weren't around.
Like, I was very surprised too. It gave me very reminiscent of season 41 where Erica's like, yeah, Heather and I are so close. And we're like, you're who now? What? But I feel as if it's very hard because, we're getting the information, but we're being told the information. But as viewers, we want to see that bond. And that bond can just be like seeing them say, oh yeah, good morning. That bond can be like, as you could see earlier in the episode when you're seeing them talking in the sunrise, you could see it was Owen and Dwight talking together. That could be a quick check-in with those two. There's so many quick ways where you can show someone a bond so we as viewers don't feel blindsided when we just hear about it.
Yeah. Mike, did you have a thought on this move?
No, I gotta though. When Maryanne was talking before, sometimes you may go in with your tribe. Like I went in with Vadi, but the truth is, even though I knew Vadi, I wasn't totally trusting Vadi. So you make new bonds in the merge, and right away you connect with people. And you say, you know what? Maybe it's better to go with people maybe I don't know as well, but maybe I trust a little more than to go with people that I do know, but I don't think they're gonna stick with me to the end anyway.
Also this merge that we've had where the tribes have come together, it is the earliest we've ever brought the tribes together in the history of the show. I think that was on day 13. I think that merge episode, I think that took place all on day 13. And it seemed like that this episode took place all in day 14. I'm pretty sure that this was just another 24-hour period. So these players are having to play so fast right now of the coming together and having these two votes in a very short amount of time. It really is wild. It must be very disorienting for the players to, and I guess that's what the show is hoping to see, is just have the game be so fast that people really don't ever stop and slow down and say, wait, what are we doing here?
I think that's very true. I think the game moves extremely fast. You don't realize how quick. I mean, even with the knowledge is power, when Omar came up to me with it, we had maybe 30 minutes before Tribal, and there was so much going on with Lindsay, with Drea. You either make the decision and you're right, or you don't make the decision, you get your neck chopped off. So the game moves extremely fast. You don't have time. You have to make a decision on the spot, whether you're right or wrong. The monster is definitely in the room.
Oh, don't bring the monster back,
The
Mike.
monster is in the room.
Yeah, the monster was messing with the tech before, I think. Yeah. So this was also very interesting in terms of who voted for whom. Okay, so it seemed like that the plan was going to be, all right, Vessi and Baca were going to split their votes. They were going to put votes on James and votes on Ryan. It turned out there were actually 7 votes that came together to vote against Dwight. Now, the ones that are kind of obvious are the ones that were from Coco, and then the ones that were from Cody and Jesse. But the 7th vote, which was kind of a surprise, Sammy.
Sammy, yes.
Now, this is very interesting to me and very unexplained in the episode of what's going on.
Yes, Sammy said, I don't know what's going on. And we're like, we don't know what's going on with your vote, Sammy. Obviously someone spoke to him, but it's very interesting to me because we saw Sammy seemingly on board with the Baca Vessi. We saw him talking about wanting to work with them, and then the vote showed up, and then clearly something happened that we didn't see, and we don't know who would have talked to him because we haven't seen those bonds. So maybe Sammy, I don't know, prayed to Jesus and then saw Dwight's snuff be torched away and then just changed his vote.
And it seemed like Sammy and Dwight seemed like that they were such good, so friendly and vibing with each other that Sammy goes and makes the switch. Now, Omer, what's interesting also is that Gabler was not one of those votes. And so Sammy Gabler, not a pair, as people might be thinking.
So Gabler stuck with his Vessi Baca alliance.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I think if the plan is coming together so on a short-term basis, and you have to put all your reliance on Gabler after the previous round. I don't know. Maybe it is best to just let him think what he wants, you know? Mm-hmm. But Sammy's slithering in through all these alliances. Seems like he knows what's going on. I wish they would show that a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, these things are happening very quick. We don't know whether they're hiding stuff from us or there's just not enough time to capture what's happening.
Yeah, I hope I get a secret 2 hours before tribal, a Big Brother-esque thing about.
You would like that?
Yes, or some sort of confessional explaining why Sammy had his vote, right? Because it's I can infer that why Cody and Jesse flipped and how Coco got in because of the Carla Jesse bond, but I just have the biggest question mark with Sammy.
And in the preview for the next episode, I think it's Owen who says, "Oh, this 7 seems like that," and those were those 7 votes. Do we feel like that this 7 will hold for even 1 vote, Mike?
It never holds for 1 vote.
It doesn't hold. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So what do you think would be the most likely thing to happen? Do you think it's then could we see potentially the old pendulum where could it be Cody and Jesse be the people that could they switch back and vote with Baca against the people that they turned on? So the next vote's going to be at 11. So I think that would be there were 4 people that were left out, right? So if they switch back. They could. It's possible. Or do you think they're going to ride it out for a little bit?
It is possible, but it's people have been blindsided.
Yeah.
And this is I don't know. I'm just all going back to Janine. This girl's been blindsided twice in a 24-hour span.
Yeah.
Being blindsided once is rough. Being blindsided twice, I don't know how that's going to happen back at camp. Because remember, Janine's okay, everyone's Janine, you're good. And then clearly she's not good.
Not good.
I really feel as if there's, and she was in shambles too. So sad too. And
You're
then you have
very
to come
distraught
back.
about Janine.
I know, no. It's she just got blindsided. It's super sad. And then everyone's you really don't worry. We trust you. And then again,
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how I would have made it. Mm-hmm. Because I was never really, the only blindside I had was the knowledge of his power existing, right? So.
What a flex. What a flex by Maryanne. Never gets blindsided.
No.
Must be nice.
Okay. All right. I want to bring some more people up. We have a limited amount of space on the stage. I feel like we'll bring everybody back up when we do some questions from the audience. But anything else any observations from the episode?
I think the fact that this is a very fast-paced game is very interesting when people get blindsided like Noelle and Janine because they don't have a lot of time to fix what went on. So do you then rely on the people that have stabbed you in the back but you may have a better rapport with, or do you just cut bait? And I think that Jesse and Cody could be in trouble if they decide to throw them under the bus for being untrustworthy.
What would you do? Would you work with people that stab you in the back?
No.
But the thing is, you run out of people
You
after
do
a
run
while.
out of people.
Yeah.
But there's so many left right now. That's why they made a move at 11, and now Janine and Noelle can do whatever they want.
I think you have to be flexible. I think that somebody can burn you, and I feel like you can talk it through, and I feel like you can't forget, but you have to be able to move past it.
Yes, that's why I know, circling back to Janine yet again, but that's why I feel it's for Janine, she's blindsided, but the thing is she's now been blindsided 2 tribals in a row, so it is very easy to just have an easy consensus vote and vote her out. So right now, Janine needs to be very flexible if she wants to continue going and moving in this game, even though she's the one who has the most right to be the most bitter and vindictive.
Okay. Mike, anything else?
No, I just know that whatever you saw today, it's not going to stay the same. It's going to be different.
Yeah, that's a given. That's a given. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have you come back at the end of the show. Give it up for Mike and for Omer, 2 of the greats from season 42. Are you having fun so far?
I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying this. I'm gagged.
Okay. All right. Well, let's bring up 2 guys who always make it more of a party whenever they're around. Please welcome up the internationally known Bryson Wendell.
Woo! It's a Purple Pants. It's a Purple Pants. It's a Purple Pants podcast. You better. That's all I know.
Yes.
Sorry.
How are you? Ciao, Bryce.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, Bella. Yes. Oh, come on, Wendell. Come on.
Come on, Wendell. Smooth, Dad.
Yes. Bryce just got back from a trip to Italy.
Yes.
Yes. How was that?
Ciao, Bella.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Any fun stories?
I'm pissed off right now.
Why?
Because I feel like this episode of Survivor really showcases why I'm single.
Oh, because it didn't work out with
I'm just
Dwight
saying,
and
yes,
Jesse?
like, I'm Dwight. You put your trust in Jesse,
Yep.
your island husband,
Yep.
and the second you turn your back,
Right.
your slim petite back,
Yep.
they throw a vote at you. But also, if I could just ask a quick question, because I like to just understand stuff. So the merge has happened.
Yes.
So would this potentially be the first merge boot, or would it be Ellie?
I would say, well, let me ask the audience.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The merge boot this season, is it Dwight by a show of applause? Is it Ellie? Yeah, I think it's Ellie.
Okay.
Maryanne,
So
you
no,
agree?
wait.
Okay.
I just
see where
wanted to
you're
ask
going.
that because I just saw Wendell is Ellie on Winners at War. Okay. Got
Ah.
Bryce, what is a merge?
it. I'm on Ponderosa. I don't know.
Wendell, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, always. Yeah, very excited for when, we're having fun now, but we're going to have a lot more fun later also.
Yes. It should be fun.
Okay, now, I know that you two always represent Philly, and one of your own is
Come
here in
on.
this season.
Oh, wow.
It was a big episode for James. Were
Yeah.
you sweating, Wendell?
James Jones. Give it up for James Jones,
Okay.
please.
Yes. Found an advantage.
Give it up for the Phillies.
The Phillies. Give it up for the Phillies. We've known James for quite some time, and these last couple episodes, he's had us shaking in our boots a little bit. I'll say that.
You were nervous.
Nervous, yes.
Yes. When you saw that he found the knowledge is power, was that like, oh no, throw it back?
Yeah, I was scared with him finding that, for sure. And you saw James's swagger change a little bit when he got it. He's like walking like,
Yeah.
he's a different person. Sometimes
Well-
we've seen it before.
Yeah. What did he say about he said like, oh, well, I wasn't gonna do it, but then I said, F it, it's Survivor. Yeah.
He turned into Meek Mills. He said, hold up, wait a minute.
Y'all thought I was finished?
Ah. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, you know that, Robert?
I do now. I do now. Yeah. Yes.
A Meek fan.
Yes.
Dreams and nightmares.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So we had an episode that was uniquely structured, where we had really the first half of the episode was the challenge, and then the whole second half of the episode was the strategy. Bryce, did you like that?
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. I like a challenge. I like the strategy.
How are you at challenges, Bryce? Sorry, that's my last
Yeah.
one. That's my
Yeah.
My track
Yeah,
record
do
is
you two need to
1-1.
renew your vows?
We
know what
don't.
that would mean?
We don't.
Wendell, why are you coming out hot like this?
I'm sorry. I
Sorry.
apologize.
I was hoping you was gonna sit me up here with Mike.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Stacy.
Yeah. But it's interesting that the way that they do that, I thought it was, and look, everybody here was like real. I could feel the energy. It's always so fun to watch the challenges in a big group like this, and everybody seemed like really into it. In a normal episode, Maryanne, we'd have the reward challenge and the immunity challenge, and that would be like both like each would like fill like a segment. We just got it like back to back tonight.
I feel as if having just basically full challenge and then full strategy is what kind of feels the most like playing Survivor. Because, before you go to a challenge, before you know who your immunity is, you have kind of like, your plan A, and then if that happens, like a plan B. But until you know what's actually solid, that's when the real strategizing starts. That's when you're like, I have all the variables that I'll know now, and now let's figure out what it is. So I feel as if having like a super chunk of challenge and a super chunk of strategy is like the most linear way of like actually getting into the game and experiencing the game, like how players might experience the game as well.
Wendell, I kind of thought when we went into pairs, I kind of thought there was going to be 2 immunity necklaces that they were going to give. I was actually surprised when Owen fell out and then they just gave Gabler the 1 necklace. Like I thought that with this many people, I thought maybe they would give out 2 necklaces.
Yeah, that would have been fun and more interesting. I didn't think that, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, but it was such a great episode in terms of like the Gabler scene. I mean, to me, this was reminiscent of Christian in David versus Goliath up on the thing. Bryce, do you wish that you would have gotten a shout out from Gabler tonight?
I mean, I would have loved it.
Everybody got one.
Yeah.
His dog?
Idaho?
His
Idaho?
dog.
Alaska?
Yeah. Yeah.
Boo Boo and them?
Yeah. Maryanne, did you know the record for this challenge? I feel like that you are such a scholar of the game.
I believe that the record for the challenge was 25 minutes.
Yes.
Is what I want to say. Fact checker can check me on
Not
that
the
one.
amount of
Yes.
time that I actually played Survivor.
Oh. Do you know who
Facts.
had the record?
Ooh, I'm not that big. Jordan Kalish just gonna kill me for not knowing this.
Yeah. We're doing it for Jordan Kalish this next minute.
I do not
Yeah.
know who had the record,
Is
unfortunately.
it Stephen Fishback?
Is it for Stephen Fishback? Yeah. It's not. It was. I don't think Stephen Fishback ever competed in this challenge.
Denise did, right?
Denise did. Yeah,
Yes.
I know Denise did. So that the Gabler really, I thought had like a great episode in terms of like all of the content around Gabler. That do you think that now we're seeing Gabler in a different light because now he's not just all about the conflict with Ellie?
Yeah, we're seeing more from him. We're seeing who he's fighting for.
He not sleep.
Yeah. And if anybody was asleep, he'd put a fern on you
Yeah.
while you're
You wouldn't be
sleeping.
asleep for long.
Yeah. Wendell, let me ask you something, and this actually was something that Mike Bloom brought up on one of the podcasts this week, that he felt like that the situation with Gabler and Ellie was not dissimilar from the situation with Chris and Dom
Yes.
in Ghost Island. Do you see any similarities between the conflict that is like simmering between 2 people?
Yeah, there's no talking either one of them off of that. Like, I actually, in our case, I think Dom could have said, you know what, we'll put our differences aside and work together.
And
but-
Ellie wanted to work with Gabler. Yeah.
But then you have another party that is just like, I have to get this person out no matter what. And I mean, I tried to be the peacemaker with Dom and Chris Noble, and we were hanging out on the beach, and it didn't go too well. But, I see similarities for sure.
Yeah. Are you a Gabler fan,
You
Bryce?
know I love Gabler,
Yes.
but
But,
I mean, if it's a Gabler or Sammy,
okay.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sammy's the latter.
okay,
Yeah. Well,
Sammy,
yeah.
Sammy. All right, sorry.
Sammy, would you be in the Zaddy calendar, Sammy? Asking for
If he
a
was
friend.
here, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay.
Don't
yeah.
do that.
All right. Let's get it together, guys. Okay? All right. Maryanne, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just right now just like reminiscing and pondering about the Allie Gabler. Like
Allie Gabler.
yes.
Are we liking hashtag Allie Gabler?
Yes. Like he said, I'm gonna be the Allie Gabler and I'm gonna go and sink and no one's gonna think about me. And I was like, okay, yeah, right. And then the episode ends, no one's thinking about Gabler from what our perspective is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, he followed through on what he's saying. It's like
Wow.
he's now in the game. It's like it seems like there's bigger fish to fry unless like maybe they want a consensus vote next time. So Gabler, I really feel as if Gabler makes it through next week, he might be in a good position to make a deeper run. And that's the beauty of Survivor.
Could he
I
make a
agree with
winner's
that.
run?
Okay.
So I was just telling Wendell on our ride over, I was like, I feel like Gabriel is going to sit in the final 3.
As a person who has a viable chance to win, or do you think
I
he's
say
somebody?
Gonna sit.
Okay. Yeah. No. Bryce, you're so good with branding. Do you
Okay.
like Allie Gabler?
I mean, yes.
Oh. Okay. All right. I want to get to some more folks that are here, okay? We'll have you all come back up at the end of the show, and we'll see much more of you later on tonight. But give it up for Bryce and Wendell.
Thank you. Thank you.
Check them out, Talking Survivor on the Purple Pants podcast, Survivor
Hey.
News.
Survivor News.
Yes, okay?
Thank
All right,
you, guys.
let's welcome back then. Maryanne, would you like to make the introduction?
Yes, I would like to introduce 2 people. My content person who's like, content, film, and my person who is my island bestie. I would like to get Chanel and Tori up, and I'd love to hear their
Okay.
thoughts.
Chanel and Tori.
Yes.
Yes. Hi,
Hello,
Tori.
Chanel.
You're content person. Could you explain that? What does that mean?
Yes, every single time I'm with Chanel, you know, I go and hug her, and then we're going to go and eat food. She's like, no. Instagram gets the first shot. Like, this girl
Phone
is
eats
the
first.
biggest hustler I see in my life. She works so hard.
Hustler.
She's so diligent and has such a great like rapport. Like, she'll go and she'll be like, no, I gotta go get the content first. Like, she's her mind, she has a vision and she executes that vision. And let's not even talk about Tori's Instagram too. Beautifully catered, talks such about a thing that a lot of women struggle with, disordered eating, and is so vulnerable. I love Tori. Like, these 2 women, they use their platform in such a wonderful way, and I love them so much.
Women supporting women. We love to see
Thank you for
it.
the flowers.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. Chanel,
Gotcha.
what'd you make of tonight's episode?
I thought tonight's episode was really good. It was really interesting. I do love the formatting of it being like heavy on like the strategy after we see the challenges. I really enjoyed it.
Tori?
Yeah, I was a big fan. I think sometimes showing strategy before the challenge feels kind of like a waste of time. So I like that we got into it. And also, like, as a player, you really kind of do want like the predictable votes of like, okay, just pick off Coco one by one. But as a viewer, that is super boring to watch. So like, I love seeing people like get messy, things fall apart, kind of things come out of nowhere where we're kind of blindsided, which leaves me excited for next episode of like, all right, we need some pieces to be filled in. But like, I love that as a viewer.
Tori, can you talk a little bit about what it's like to come into the merge in a tribe that might have some fractures, maybe not Grand Canyon sized, but certainly tribe with some
Certainly
issues.
rock size.
Yeah, with some issues.
No, definitely, because like as a player, like I said, you want predictability. So like going into the merge, you want to stick with your tribe. Like, it doesn't matter what beef you have, just go farther in the game, because that's how you can do it. Stick with people, go farther in the game. But people want to make big moves because they know they don't want people watching them and being like, that's super boring. Why are you guys just voting out Coco one by one? Like, we want to see moves. And people get greedy out there. Like, people want to make a name for themselves. You don't want to be on Survivor just to like follow other people's leads, which is why I thought it was so brilliant when Jessie was like, I want other people to have a sense of agency. Brilliant. So yeah, it's scary going in with fractures, but you know, like the game's gonna break open, and I think we saw that tonight.
You know what I thought was really interesting? That there was a lot of talk from Cody and Jesse talking about like, oh, Noelle, she's really like trying to call the shots. And I feel like I don't feel like that I have seen that in the episodes. Do you feel like that has been there, Maryanne?
I haven't personally seen that. I know that for sure the first tribal that Noelle went to, she was blindsided. Then the second tribal, she was on the Mike Blue mask name inserted there. And she came back, and then when you come back, you have very little time to strategize, as I understand from Chanel, who went on a journey before the tribal to end all tribals. And so it's really interesting to me because then we're sitting down, then we're hearing Noelle is calling all the shots when all we've heard is Noelle being like, I want James gone. And I find that such an interesting dichotomy because you have people being like, I gotta take out Noelle. Noelle's calling out the shots. When literally just the previous episode, Gabler was on the warpath being like, I wanna see Ellie gone. I wanna see Ellie gone. But then maybe it's because Gabler had that necklace on his neck that he's not getting that that splashback. But because Noelle now is vulnerable, people really wanted to take her out.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting that it comes like on the heels of that Noelle has like the really nice moment in the challenge where then everybody comes to her aid. But then I also like think about stuff like that for the players that are out there, and like I wonder if anybody's saying like, oh, like Noelle got like a really big moment, like everybody loves her. All right, she's probably got to go. Like we can't let her get much further because it's already like this is part of her story.
I would want to speak against that because I feel as if as players we all play and we all care about the game, but especially the way that the new era is and the people who are playing the game, we're very focused on the game. We've wanted to play that, and I don't think that like a singular moment would go and flip someone's strategy to go and then want to vote them out or just because of a moment. I think that it usually when you want to vote someone out, there's some sort of narrative or reason why you want to vote someone out. Not a singular event, but multiple different reasons. So I want to lean more into the fact that maybe we haven't seen those reasons on screen about why people are saying Noelle's calling the shots, but I wouldn't say that it's just that one event that happened at the challenge. That's my guess.
Chanel, what about for you coming into the merge in a tribe where not everybody is on the same page?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best, I kind of disagree with what Mike was saying about like pursuing other options. I think we saw it executed perfectly with Taku, who decided like, maybe, I mean, they were strong, right? But we saw like an opportunity for cracks. And you could potentially try and build new relationships, but I believe in go with the devils that you know, right? Because you go into this new situation, you don't fully understand the dynamics of other tribes, you don't fully understand how other people are playing, and a 26-day game is so much quicker that you don't even have the time to learn it. So, I say you stick with your people.
You know, this was certainly a week where Jesse talked about like going for, okay, the easy vote could be, to do this, and then he decided to go with the much more complicated vote. Maryanne, do you feel like that should the players be shying away from taking the easy vote when it's this early on?
I think that it all just depends on the position that you're in. Mm-hmm. I think that for Jesse and Cody, they seemed that they were in a very good position, very good in the middle, and there's many more options for them to go and jump ship in that moment. I think that if you have maybe less agency, maybe you're really scrambling to get on the top, then you really want to go and take that vote. You really want to go and take that big risk because you need something to move. Because as someone said, whose name I forget because I'm very bad, but chaos is a ladder, right?
Yes.
So if chaos is
It was
happening...
Karishma.
Yeah. Perfect. Sorry, Karishma. Love you, Karishma. Yeah. But if chaos is happening, there's a better chance that you're going to be on a next rung. But if you're in a decent position, it's like, chaos is a ladder, so you might be at the top of the rung, chaos happens, then suddenly you see Jeff just snuffing your torch.
Yeah. Tori, who do you think is in the most danger next?
I want to say Janine, but actually I don't think so because I think she can easily be picked up by someone. I don't want this to be true, but I think Jesse could be in danger if people see the game that he's playing. I think he's playing a really brilliant game. I think he's playing a game a lot of people would like to play by trying to stay in the middle, but if someone sniffs him out, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. I would not want to sit next to him.
Yeah, but he also, one of the things he talked about was okay, well, this was Cody's idea. So he also has the plausible deniability of oh yeah, this was Cody's idea. I didn't really want to, this wasn't my plan. I didn't really want to do this, if anybody asks, but I have a feeling that maybe because he seems more of the business person and Cody is Cody. I don't know if anybody's gonna be actually mad at Cody. Can we talk about how at Tribal Council, Jeff, he's always looking for analogies. Tonight he was very specific. Cody, give me a surfing analogy.
I feel as if Jeff wanted to have the Jaws analogy said. So he's like,
yes.
So it's give me a surfing analogy. Just give me something. And then Cody gave his analogy. Yeah. Jeff's like, so you mean Jaws?
Yeah.
I'll give you one.
Cody's like, yeah, so I guess you could be on the beach with the girls or get in the water. He's like, oh, like a shark. Like a shark. Jaws. You know Jaws? Da-da, da-da, da-da. Anybody? What? So, it was fun. Yeah.
It's interesting because, Jeff loves analogies, but I guess it's come to the point when he's like, okay, so I want an analogy, but this time give me like something beachy. It's like, okay, this time I want an analogy, but this time let's make it about like skiing. So like Jeff's in like his like sporty era of analogies.
Did you ever get a request for a specific analogy? I know you had such a rapport with Jeff.
The biggest one for me was that Jeff asked me what part of the game that we're in. And then this is when I said it's like Survivor Jenga, where it's like you take your pieces out. And I felt so good. Jeff was so happy. Like I felt like I ate that. I'm like, this is the best analogy ever. It's like everyone, I'm just like, this one's gonna make air. And it did. So like I felt really gagged. I was so gagged. I was like,
Nice. Chanel, anything else about the episode?
No, I thought it was really fun. I have a lot of questions. I thought it was really fun. I have a lot of questions. Thank you, Mother Maryanne.
She's so good. She's such a natural.
But I'm excited to see like what unfolds in the next episode, and just understanding the backstory to a lot of the things that we haven't seen yet.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up and talking with us. Stand by. We're going to do questions from the audience. Okay. All right. I want to also welcome back up here to the stage, of course, somebody who has a lot of his mom in attendance here tonight. The one that got away from Maryanne. Zach Wertenberger is here.
yay!
Hey, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
We have somebody else here from Ghost Island who's celebrating tonight some big news about the Washington Commanders. Brendan Shapiro is here. And also here with us from Big Brother, Azza Wilson. Yes. Hello. Azza, so nice to see you. How are you? Here. Thank you. Yes. Okay. For Zach,
Yes.
let me ask you, what was your reaction to everything that went on tonight?
My reaction to everything that went on?
Yeah.
Every single thing?
Anything, any interesting thoughts that you have?
Can I say my favorite moment of the episode?
Yes, please.
My favorite moment of the episode was, hey, why aren't you applying to Survivor?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was almost like that Jeff was, it was like that the camera was rolling for like 4 or 5 seconds like it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And he's like, you already know what I'm gonna say.
I would love if, as the season is going on, we see Jeff grow slowly more unhinged in these things. Like, I'm begging you, please.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they're having a hard time finding people to be on Survivor.
No,
They're getting great people. Yeah. I don't know. Jeff is being like passive aggressive about like why? Well, like you're watching Survivor. Why don't you apply for it already? You know what I want. Yeah. So, okay. Well, interesting. Azza, have you been following this season of Survivor?
I've been following coming to the watch parties. I just want to say,
Yes.
while having a margarita, I'm enjoying this season as well too. But I love this cult. It's such a beautiful, awesome cult. I've always wanted to be a part of a cult, and
Welcome.
the Survivor cult is so cool. That's all I have to say. But I think probably the moment that gripped me the most, it was just this beautiful moment of Noelle. Her struggling in that net, and I was just holding my chest and just crying. And then Jeff is like, all right, next move. I was like, come on, like, can we just have a little bit of time just to mull over that beautiful moment? But beautiful episode, awesome episode.
Yeah, look, you gotta keep moving. Keep moving on Survivor. Brendan, what's been your feelings on Survivor 43?
Well, clearly Jeff's begging is working, I think, because we've now had, I think, a couple seasons in a row of great casts. And we talk about production decisions and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately I think Survivors is won and lost on the cast. And they've just hit it out of the park the last couple seasons. It's been awesome. And I think what makes a great cast is having some characters that are sort of villainous, but fun villainous, and where you've got almost everybody that you can root for. And I think that's where we are this season. You look across the board at who's left, and you got a lot of people that you feel good about and want to root for to win the game.
What was your reaction about Dan Snyder news today as one of the hosts of The Surviving in front of your hometown audience?
Okay, so for those of you who are Washington fans, look, I've lived a good life. I got to play Survivor. I've had 2 children. I got married, all these things. If this is real, if Dan Snyder is going to be removed as owner, is going to sell the team, this will be a top 10 day in my life.
Wow. Remember where we were. Yeah. Okay. When we were watching the episode, that I had the pleasure of standing by Zach and Maryanne as they marveled at the challenge that we saw in this episode. Both of you were so impressed with the build this season. Zach, could you speak to that a little bit?
I hate the challenges.
Yes.
But I will say that I always love when they do something new. And I feel like we don't see that very often, especially in the challenges. So to see a 3-part challenge that turned into an endurance, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. And any time that Survivor can make me say that, I think is almost always a good thing.
Maryanne, I saw that Jeff Probst did an interview with Dalton Ross today, and they were talking about some of the things that they're doing different for the challenges. What have you noticed that is going on with the Survivor 43 challenges?
The Survivor 43 challenges, for many seasons, been feeling like a little bit stale, but I really feel as if the challenges have been really refreshed. Like, I'm looking at the challenges, I'm like, this is the new challenge. This is something I haven't seen before. Like, the 3-part stat challenge was great. And then I'm now blanking on other challenges. Or the one where they had to climb up the thing, and then you have Carla all bloody climbing up with the stair puzzle and then the end puzzle. Like, it's like what we're seeing in the mechanics of the challenges. These are fresh new things. And as someone, a lot of people watch Survivor for the challenges. And when you're like, okay, it's the same challenge again. Like, you're like, okay, well, this is the best strategy. But seeing the challenge department really going and having that second wind is something so exciting as a viewer to see.
If you watch Survivor for the challenges, you got fed tonight. You ate. I did like that they brought out this mechanism of, they said, okay, you have to pick a partner for this. But I was disappointed, and I understand why the players do it. I was disappointed with the, hey, let's pick rocks out of a bag. Because this is a throwback. Because this is something that came up in some of the early seasons in Survivor, the Australian Outback. I think Survivor Africa also. This came up where they let the survivors pick a partner for their challenge. And Jerry's like, I pick Colby. And they're like, well, you can't just pick Colby. And she's like, why? Nobody ever said this game is fair. I pick Colby.
Rob, do you know what this was?
What?
This was the Festy Besties twist.
Oh!
Survivor has Festy Besties.
Ooh.
New era.
Only for one challenge, though.
Yes, and only for the first 2 stages. Then your besties are broken.
Yeah. Azza, is there anything else that you see watching Survivor now that's very different from Big Brother?
Well, I have to say, as one that was an incredible competitor on her season, a comp beast,
And the challenge,
I would say,
yes.
I won pretty much almost every HOH I played in. Set records, incredible history. As one who had that, I have to say I was a bit unimpressed with these challenges. Big Brother's just so much more physical than Survivor.
Yes.
With the carnival costumes and the bright lights and bright colors. I just have to say I love Survivor for the heart that gets shown. I love how the cinematography just shows just the heart that in these players, them trying their best no matter what. I have to just bring up Noelle again. I was just so impressed with her never giving up, and it's just beautiful to see that on this season. It's so beautiful to see that on this show, and I loved it. I loved it, and I have to say I'm a fan now.
Okay.
Another one. Thank you.
Well, welcome, Azza.
Thank you.
All
I love
right.
this call.
So we're gonna try something, okay? We're gonna take some questions from the audience. Let's have all the survivors, all of our friends come back, because you never know who's gonna get a question, okay? And we've given the microphone to Chappelle.
Hello.
If you have a question, raise your hand, and Chappelle is gonna do his best to get to where you are. Chappelle, how you doing out there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good,
Yeah?
okay? All
Who got
right.
the questions?
Here. All right. So
I see you. I
let's
see you.
let's get some questions, and then I'll move around. If anybody, whoever you have a question for, I can go to them on the panel. Okay.
All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
I,
All right.
I see somebody that's near you, right,
Well,
right down in front.
Don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do
All
that.
right.
Don't disrespect me like that.
Sorry. All right. What do you
What's
got,
up?
Chappelle?
What's your name?
Tommy Guam.
This is Tommy Guam, y'all.
Tommy Guam.
This is different. This is family. Tommy Guam, what's up?
How you doing, all right?
I'm good. What's up? What's your question?
I have 2 questions. Is that possible?
If they're quick, go
Real
for
quick,
it, Tommy.
real-
Yeah.
All right, quickly.
We'll do it quick. Just going back to giving the advantage to somebody. How about somebody ask you for your jacket and the advantage in the jacket?
Okay, so
Yes.
you basically want to have like an Angelina Beware advantage.
Why not?
Yes. Do you have to get all the jackets or just one person's jacket?
Maybe 3 jackets. I
3
don't know.
jackets,
3
Maryanne.
jackets.
Like, how would that work?
Yes.
Would you like that as a twist?
Quickly.
Like that jackets is a twist. I think we got that kind of with the beads, you know? Where it's like you have to ask someone for the beads. So I've kind of seen it, so I think it'd be interesting, but no one's gonna give you their jacket in the night, so it'd be a flop. I
Yeah,
can tell you
might
that.
be
Can I have
funny
a
when the
jacket?
person with 2 jackets is asking for a 3rd jacket. Why do you need so many jackets? Yes.
Gets
all right.
cold on Fiji.
All
Just,
right,
and just with Gabler sharing all those personal moments.
Yes.
How does it help his game? Is that like, do they like look at him now like more
Ooh, I'd like
personable?
to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, like I got emotional and I was crying, and I think it's because of the edit. Like I almost want to negate anything that good that Gabler did this episode, because like I've seen the craziness and kind of the just not making sense that he was in the first couple of episodes, but it really pulled on my heartstrings. And I think if he had a different edit in the prior episodes, like I would have been like, heck yeah, look at Gabler go. He won that individual immunity. It's amazing. But we're all just kind of like, haha, that's funny. Good for him. Not really taking it seriously.
Okay. Thanks, Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Hi. What's up? What's your name?
Liz,
All right, Liz, what's your question?
open for anyone.
Liz has notes. Yeah.
Tons
Yes,
of them.
Okay.
In this episode, you know, stage 2 of the challenge, Carla and Cassidy were the only female team out there, and Jeff called them girls repeatedly, and I found that to be a little offensive against all the other teams of guys. I'm just kind of curious now that Jeff has dropped "come on in, guys" from his repertoire, if he may change that language in the future. I know we're in DC, so it has to get political.
Do any of the women on the panel want to address that?
No, Rob. Why don't you fill this one?
Look.
I think that, at least for me, being called a girl, especially me being a young woman, that's not something that is as big for me, but I feel as if for each people, it's like people might feel different with terminology. So I can tell you that Jeff really cares, and if someone raised a concern, Jeff would raise that concern. So like if you go and Jeff really wants to learn, Jeff cares about the show. So I feel as if I want to give like the best intentions for Jeff, and I don't think he meant any ill will for it. So I feel as if in that situation, maybe he didn't know, but I can promise you Jeff is always willing to learn, he's always willing to grow. So if that was raised to him, he would respond and literally learn accordingly.
Awesome. Thank you.
We love
Especially
it.
if a famous person told him.
Right. Share that clip right there with Maryanne to Jeff.
Yeah,
and then,
Maryanne's-
we
yeah.
got this. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't skip you. Hi there. All right, what's your name?
I'm James.
All right, James, what's your question?
So my question is, we heard a lot this episode about the alligator, but personally, I think the Carladile is the more dangerous beast swimming.
Oh.
We've seen the importance of staying under the water until, you know, you make it to the end. Can the Carladile make it to the end before people see the threat?
Okay.
Okay.
First off, Carla Dial, you like that?
Well, see it here. I am Bryce Isaiah from Down Under. Okay, and I predict or see the Carla Dial? What they? Carla Gator.
Yeah.
Okay. A fierce being. Period.
Go in.
Well, that the Carla Dial certainly could make it to the end. I think the thing that was super interesting to me is that I feel like that Carla and Jesse, I feel like, have been on these parallel tracks to get to this point in the game so far. I think they've had like very similar journeys. And I thought it was so interesting that they have seemingly linked up in the game. Even though we didn't really get to see it, but based on what Jesse is telling us, that they're on the same page. but I kind of don't see that they could get to the end together. I feel like that at some point, like they could work together now, but I feel like that I don't see that as being a duo that like they both need different things to happen to win.
That's not Jay-Z and Beyonce.
It's not Jay-Z and Beyonce to me, but I like the branding.
Oh, we love that. We love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob. You heard it here. If Carla is anywhere listening to this, cut Jesse.
Yeah.
Carla, wherever you are.
Okay.
I know you're not here, but if you were here and you were listening to this,
okay.
Cut Jesse. All right, we got another question here. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jill. And
Hi, Jill.
my question was, coming into tonight, with Dwight leaving with Janine's idol, what is the proper strategy? To hold on to your advantage or to let someone borrow it with the chance that it might be leaving?
Okay. With y'all smart asses. Let's say something. Come on. It's a good ass question.
Let's popcorn it. Just go with hold or borrow. I want to hear from everyone.
I don't know. It depends on the situation. Survivor's a
No,
crazy
Jeff
game.
doesn't like that answer. You got to do either one or.
Hold.
Hold.
I pass it around, I think.
Borrow. Okay.
Pass it around to the most unsuspecting person.
I'm team borrow.
Borrow.
I think
Jeff
borrow,
doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Just wants one
think,
word.
I think that they had the right idea. I think too many people knew the plan. I think that was the issue with that. Anybody?
Well, and was it just me, or was Janine like holding her hand like this? She was, right? She was like holding her hand like this whenever he was getting all the votes, like, bro, give it to me, give it to me. We didn't see him give it to her, so she tried.
Yeah.
What if she did and we didn't see it?
Oh, we get a flashback next week. Okay. Here, let's Chappelle. Let's do a couple more questions.
All right.
Okay.
We got somebody right here. How are you doing? What is your name?
Brendan.
This is Brendan, y'all. This is Brendan Fitzpatrick,
Fitzy.
y'all. Yes, Fitzy. What's up, Fitzy? What's the question?
So how intentional do we think it was that they gave the idol to Dwight and then he got taken out with it in his pocket? Was it an intentional flush of Janine's idol?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I think it was. I think that Jesse was, Jesse and Cody were already talking about Dwight. I think it was a twofer. I think it was like, okay, we can get Dwight and then also get an idol out of the game. It would have been interesting if the idol went to somebody else, would it have still been Dwight?
I think that it was intentional, Dwight, and the flush was just made it all the sweeter. But it would have always been Dwight, but then just so happened that he got the idol out and it was a twofer. Like, it made it sweeter that it's like, we're really gonna get Dwight this time.
Mm-hmm. I think that might put Cody's idol in a little bit more danger for Mr. James out there because the one he probably would have taken it from is now gone. So that sucks for Cody.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Gabler still has his idol. That's not an idol.
And the thing with the knowledge is power, and there's so much that we don't know. But the way that, like, the person with the information that had the information about the Beware advantage was the people from Baca. Carla nobody else knew what was going on there. So it's possible that James doesn't know that Carla actually has that idol, and that also Cody also has that idol from the beads. But the Baca people did have that information, and how much have they passed out that information to other people? We don't know.
All right, good question. All right, who's next?
Okay.
Oh, young lady right here.
Yes.
Hi. I understand.
He's like David Pumpkins.
I understand we met earlier. You're our tour guide, yes? All right, at the Smithsonian, y'all.
Yes.
For the patrons, if you hunted some scavengers today, you might have met our next question right here. Okay. What's your name?
So I'm Takia.
Yes, and what do you do?
So I do a lot. Yeah. You know, I might have warrants. I don't.
We don't have to talk about that. You bring up warrants and we both gotta leave.
No, I just work for the government.
Oh, never mind. All right, next question. No, have a seat. All right, okay, what you got?
So we all know the genius that was Maryanne in last season when she pulled out all of her idols and said, I was the only one who kept them a secret. So we know that keeping your idol a secret is one of the best, like, golden rules. What is a golden rule that we as watchers may not know?
Yes.
Okay.
That's, again,
All right.
from the History Museum, y'all.
All right.
You can hear that in
Let me-
numbers. I see
All
you.
right, Maryanne, since you're the person that has the most golden rules.
So, what is a golden rule that players have that we don't know as viewers? That's the question?
Yeah.
I think that the golden rule is that. Yeah, I'm gonna give it over to Zach.
Yes, Zach, that's what we want to know from.
I think
Yes.
one that you wouldn't think about is the fact that it is a TV show and there are cameras and you can watch the cameras. And if you're looking for an idol and the camera people just start walking away from you, there's probably not an idol there.
Yeah. Okay, Wendell, do you have a secret to your success?
Well, I do have something that I tell people if they might happen to go out on the island.
Okay.
You know, I just tell them to make sure that they just continue to check in with everybody on the island at all times. Don't think you're cool, then all of a sudden you and Nick and Michelle get blindsided and you go. Yeah, so make sure you check in. Anybody that's gonna go out there, make sure y'all.
Okay, Mike, do you have a tip?
Never, ever go off alone while there's a group talking. Ever. Ever.
And if you want to see yourself on TV, speak in the form of shark analogies.
Yes, very good. Okay.
Rob,
all right.
I also have
All right.
one. Don't risk your vote.
Don't risk your vote. Yeah.
Make it past the first vote if you can.
If you can. Okay. All right, Chappelle, where are you at?
I'm hiding.
Okay.
Okay. We got, how many more you want to do?
Let's do one more.
All right, one more. Hi there. I saw you. Yeah. What's up? What's your name?
Olivia.
Olivia has a question, y'all. Okay. Olivia, what's your question?
I'd like to hear everyone's winner picks.
All right. Put them on the spot. All right, this is now we got action. Y'all was talking a big game now. But let's say Carla was in the room. Sammy was in the room.
Okay.
Cassidy might be here.
Yeah. Or let's not say that.
Or
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yeah.
said maybe.
Yeah.
Rob, who's your winner pick?
It was Ellie. So-
Oh, yeah.
That was.
Oh, tough break, Bryce.
Yeah.
I'm going with the curmudgeon, Owen.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully Owen's not here to hear that.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Azza, you have a winner pick?
Carla has my heart.
And she has ours.
Yes.
All right.
Before the season, I picked Ryan, but I'm thinking Carla.
All right. Turncoats.
So last week I was talking with my friends Dalton Ross and Rick Devins.
Okay,
Sorry,
name
some
drop.
names there.
Shameless plug.
Pick that name up, though.
And I went on record as saying I think it's either Carla or Owen. It's one of those
Okay.
two.
Carla or Owen.
All right.
Yes.
Stan Mike Turner, do you have an opinion about who's going to win the game?
I don't think he's gonna win, but I think it'd be funny as hell if Gable won.
Wow.
It'd be
Yes. We do love comedy. Maryanne.
All I'm saying is Owen proposed to his now fiance. Tommy proposed and Nick proposed, and now you're seeing Owen propose?
All right.
I don't think it's love. I think it's money.
Yeah.
Chanel, what we got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking either Owen or Carla. We'll
All
see.
right.
Oh.
Right. Omer, pass the mic, please, to someone who. All right.
How
Omer,
dare you?
Omer, go ahead.
My preseason pick was Jesse, and he's still there and doing well, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Yes. Zach, you better Werdenberger.
My pick was also Jesse, and my pick is still Jesse.
All right.
Okay.
Wendell.
My pick is Carla.
Yeah.
All right. And for the record, my pick is James. He might
Okay.
not be here to hear that, but James, supremacy.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Haters.
All right. Yes, thank you, Chappelle. All right.
You're welcome.
Ariel, who was very instrumental in helping us plan this event, and Mike Christensen down here also as well. So Ariel, what's going on?
So I got word from Jordan. I texted Jordan Kalish, and what I found out was that there were 5 winners of this challenge. They were Denise, Carter. Oh, look at me doing trivia. All right. Denise, Carter, Monica, Mama C, and Mike Holloway. And the winner, with video proof, was Carter. He beat Jeff Kent.
Carter, great job. So Carter can't even have anything? Okay. All right. Thank you for that. And thank you to Jordan. We're doing it for Jordan Kalish this minute, okay? This is the minute for Jordan Kalish. All right. anything else about tonight's Survivor that we want to make sure we get on the record here tonight?
It was a great episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I love how, unfortunately, when Dwight was blindsided, I knew why he was blindsided because the pieces were there. I wasn't confused. I was like, not ah.
Okay. I will have an exit interview with Dwight coming up on the podcast tomorrow morning, so be on the lookout for that. We'll ask Dwight about everything that went on from this episode. Of course, that we are all here together live, but Stephen Fishback was live with PG Law for the Know-It-Alls tonight. So be sure to check that out on the way home or sometime this weekend. I'll have a feedback show also with Allie Lasher this weekend to get into all of your questions about this week's Survivor episode. All right. Real quick, before, because I know we got places to go, right?
Oh, yes, you know we do.
All right, for everybody that's here, Wendell, what's anything you got coming up?
Oh, well, whoever's going to the after party, it's at proper 21F across the street. Make sure when you get inside, get a ticket. We have raffles. We're gonna give away giveaways all night. So that's what I got going on.
All right. Okay, Zach, Omer.
If you guys had a great time at this event, be sure to email Rob and Mike to thank them.
Best method of contacting me, for sure. Yeah. Omer?
No, I'm just enjoying my free life and enjoying Survivor again, so.
Okay.
No.
Chanel?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. Here, we'll say Maryanne for the end. Mike?
Life is good, man. That's it. Life is good.
Bryce?
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, and I can't wait for the after party. And you know Bryson Wynn presents. We are on tour. So we'll be in Boston next week. We'll be in D.C. in the finale in L.A. So listen, I hope to see some of y'all here, baby boy.
Aza?
Thank you for the invitation. I'm sorry I got makeup on your jacket.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about Aza. Okay, we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you love watching Survivor, you love being critical and like, oh, I would have done that differently. Freaking apply. Do it. You
Yeah.
heard Jeff. We
You know what I want.
You guys are super fans, so do it. You never know. Adventure of a lifetime.
And Brendan?
Well, I got to be teaching 9th graders in like 6 hours, so let's get to the party. How about
Okay.
that?
All right. And let's give it up for Maryanne. What a great co-host. This was so fun for me to get to do the podcast with you. You did such a great job.
Thank you for taking the opportunity on me and believing I could speak in one-time speed.
Yes, yes. No, you're such a natural, and I am so in awe. You know so much about Survivor that it's,
hear that,
it's
Fishback?
incredible. Yes.
I'm coming for you.
Yes. Yeah. So, great job, Maryanne. Anything you want to tell people to check out?
Be kind to one another.
Oh.
Be compassionate to one another.
Yeah.
And remember, Jesus is watching.
Yes.
And
Love
also,
one
I do
another.
want to thank, though, Sam Moore, who's behind all of this. Like, so amazing. Like, Survivor players are the most skittish people in the world. Like, we're like flakier than a crust, and he just wrangles us so well. Just takes care of us, takes care of Rob. Like basically, Rob be like, let's do this. Sam's
Let's
like,
not get too
figuring it
carried
out.
away.
Sam
Oh,
is
okay.
amazing and deserves all the flowers.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Okay. All right. Thank you all for coming out to see us. This was an amazing crowd. Thank you for, again, I sincerely thank you so much for your patience. If you're listening to the podcast, there were some tech issues earlier tonight. The crowd did not riot, which is always appreciated in this town. Okay? There was no coup. Okay? Thank you all so much. You've all been amazing. I've had such a nice time getting to talk to so many of you. Can't wait to see you all at the after party. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Good night.